Have you ever met someone who doesn't make a huge income, but somehow they always seem financially calm? They're not stressed out about bills. They're not panic checking their bank account. And they're definitely not trying to impress everyone else around them. Meanwhile, other people can make twice as much money and still live paycheck to paycheck. So what's the difference? Today we're talking about what frugal people do differently. And I'm not talking about extreme couponing or never buying coffee again. Real frugal people don't just spend less, they think differently about money. And once you understand these habits, your financial life starts getting easier almost immediately. One of the biggest differences between frugal people and broke people is that frugal people are not performing wealth for other people. They don't feel pressure to constantly upgrade everything. They're okay with driving an older vehicle. They keep a phone longer. They repair things instead of replacing them immediately. And honestly, a lot of financially stable people look average from the outside because real wealth is often quiet. Debt is loud. Many people spend money trying to create the image of success. Frugal people care more about actual freedom than appearance. That means they ask different questions before buying something. Instead of, will people like this? Does this make me look successful? They ask, will this improve my life? Is this worth the hours I worked to pay for it? Will I still care about this in 6 months? That mindset changes everything. Frugal people understand something most people learn too late. Every dollar you spend affects your future stress level. Impulse spending feels good for a few minutes. Financial peace lasts much longer. Frugal people don't avoid spending money because they're cheap. They avoid unnecessary spending because they value peace. They like having emergency savings, paying bills comfortably, avoiding debt, sleeping at night. And once you experience financial stability, you stop wanting random stuff as much because peace becomes addictive. A lot of people think frugal living is deprivation, but for most frugal people, it actually feels like control. They don't have to panic when life happens, and life always happens. The car will break down, the furnace does die, unexpected expenses show up. Frugal people prepare for reality instead of assuming everything will go perfectly. One major thing frugal people do differently, they decide where their money is going before they spend it. Most people spend first and think later. Frugal people reverse that. They create a simple system that could mean a budget, cash envelopes, automatic savings, meal planning, shopping lists, not because they love spreadsheets, but because planning prevents emotional spending. Here's something interesting. Frugal people often spend less mental energy on money. Why? Because they've already made decisions ahead of time. For example, they know how much they can spend on groceries. They know how much goes into savings. They know what bills are coming. That removes financial chaos, and chaos is expensive. Last-minute decisions usually cost more money. Convenience costs more. Impulse costs more. Disorganization costs more. Planning creates breathing room. Now this one might surprise people. Frugal people understand the difference between convenience and value. Modern life constantly encourages us to pay extra for convenience. Food delivery, subscription services, extended warranties, fast shipping, pre-cut food, buy now, pay later. Individually, these things don't seem expensive, but together, they quietly drain thousands of dollars every year. Frugal people ask, can I do this myself? And often the answer is yes. Cooking at home saves huge amounts of money. Learning basic repairs saves money. Gardening saves money. Buying used saves money. And something else happens too. You become more resourceful. Frugal people tend to build skills instead of depending on convenience for everything. That creates resilience, and resilience matters more now than ever. This is where people misunderstand frugality. Frugal people are not always buying the cheapest option. Actually, many frugal people are very intentional about quality because replacing cheap items over and over gets expensive. So instead of buying 10 low quality items, they buy one good item and take care of it. They focus on durability, usefulness, longevity. They avoid trend-based spending because trends are designed to make you feel outdated. Frugal people don't constantly chase upgrades. They're comfortable using things fully before replacing them. And that mindset alone can save an unbelievable amount of money over time. Lifestyle creep is one of the biggest financial traps there is. That's when your spending rises every time your income rises. You make more money and suddenly your car payment increases, your subscription increases, your shopping increases, your expectations increase, and somehow you still feel broke. Frugal people resist this. When they get raises or extra income, they often save more, invest more, pay off debt faster, instead of immediately upgrading their lifestyle. That's one of the reasons many frugal people eventually become financially secure. Not because they earn massive amounts, but because they keep the gap between income and spending. That gap creates freedom. Frugal people rarely look at price alone. They look at total cost. For example, a cheap car with constant repairs may cost more than a reliable car. A big house also means higher utilities, more maintenance, more furniture, higher taxes. Frugal people think long term, and they also think in hours worked. If something costs $300, they mentally translate into how many hours of my life does this cost me? That creates a completely different relationship with money, because money is stored time, and frugal people protect their time carefully. At the end of the day, frugal people aren't perfect. They still buy things they enjoy. They still spend money. They still make mistakes sometimes, but they think differently. They value freedom over appearances, peace over impulse, planning over chaos, long-term stability over short-term excitement. And honestly, that mindset becomes more valuable every year, because being frugal isn't about being miserable. It's about creating a life where money causes less stress, a life where you have options, breathing room, flexibility. And that's something a lot of people are searching for right now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more simple, practical conversations about money, habits, and building a more stable life. And in the comments, tell me, what's one frugal habit that has saved you the most money? I'd love to hear about it. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.